HEC1, oh my god! No one cares. Hello, and welcome to Android Weekly. This is RICKY, the Android guy. Hey guys, so going over the top articles of the week. Before we start, I do want to say that I'm not going to go into the Facebook home. I'm going to do a separate video on that. But let's go to the other articles that happened this week. The first one is Google and Asus are supposedly going to join again to launch the new Nexus 7, and it should be either announced in Google I/O, which is coming up this May, but released in July, or just altogether everything being done in July. Although we probably have a release for it, maybe an announcement of it in June, but we'll see. But of course, this will tote the latest version of Android, so Android 5.0. Supposedly, they are going to the Qualcomm Snapdragon chipset instead of NVIDIA, which, if that's true, NVIDIA, who are you going to go with? I'm really curious, actually, about this, because NVIDIA, really, their main customer has always been Asus, and if Asus starts to go away from them, then I don't know what they have left. I mean, they have Toshiba, Sony, and a couple of those, but nowhere really near the sales of Asus, and obviously they've already lost Samsung. So it's kind of curious to see what they're going to do if they lose the Nexus 7. On that same token, this one is supposedly going to be $149. Now, I do believe that's a rumor. I do not believe that's going to be true, although that would be quite impressive. And definitely take on like the iPad Mini 2 when it would come out. I mean, for $149 for a new top of the line Nexus 7 would be amazing. I mean, I'm not complaining, but I just think that's kind of asking a lot. I mean, I think $200 for a good, really good tablet is, I mean, I'm willing to pay that price. But if they give it to me for $149, I'm not going to complain. So yeah. Alright, now on the opposite side of the spectrum, how is iOS 7 doing? Not that good. Actually, lots of rumors are talking about iOS 7 struggling to make it on time for WWDC, where, traditionally Apple has always announced its latest version of iOS, but they are falling behind. And this is due to design changes and making everything kind of work properly. It's just kind of interesting. Whereas we don't normally see the phone at this anymore. Like last year, it was pushed back until September before the holidays. This is when you should expect the iPhone 5S. You should not expect it during June. I just don't believe that will happen. It just doesn't seem likely. Simply for the fact that you have to realize Samsung still produces pretty much the majority of Apple stuff. Although, certain things have gone to other manufacturers here and there, the majority is still produced by Samsung. And since Samsung is obviously going to be hard to work on their S4, I just don't see it being a delay, just like last year when they couldn't get the processing chips from Samsung, and it delayed them a month till September. So yeah, I don't believe that we'll see the iPhone come out till maybe the end of summer. But I would say that iOS 7 should at least be announced in WWDC. If it's not complete, that's fine, because we don't expect to see it on that first phone till the iPhone 5S, which that's all it'll be. It'll not be like a cheaper iPhone and then a better iPhone. It'll be iPhone 5S, that's it. Guys, you're delusional if you think there's going to be a less expensive iPhone out there. On the third article, Best Buy is going to have mini Samsung stores in their location. Supposedly, different articles are saying different things. Some are saying it's like 1,000 stores, some are saying it's like 1,400 stores. We can guess that it'll be a lot of stores. So you can probably start to expect to see a Samsung store pop up in your Best Buy. And this Samsung Mobile is basically going to be a store within a store. So you kind of get all Samsung products, and I mean, if you think about it, if you go into a Best Buy, there's not one department that Samsung doesn't have a product in. It has it in appliances, it has it in MP3s, and cameras, and TVs, and laptops, and tablets, and in phones. So really, this is kind of perfect for Best Buy. as well as, you know, you're going to have all the accessories that you might not always have access to. You had to go online to Samsung's website before. Now you're going to have them in store. I think this is really good for Samsung, and it'll definitely help their customers without needing to, you know, have their own full store, like say like a Microsoft or Apple store. They're going to have a store within a store, which, you know, I'm sure is going to save them money. So we'll see how that goes. Now HTC One. Alright, so HTC One for AT&T started its pre-orders on April 4th. I will let you know that I went to about 3 AT&T stores. Not one pre-order was sold. But to be fair, HTC has never been that big at AT&T, so maybe it was just that. It will be priced at $199 for the 32 gig, and AT&T will have the exclusive on the 64 gig, which will be at $299. As for Sprint, they are starting their pre-orders on April 5th, so this I expect to see more pre-orders for, simply because of the fact that, you know, HTC is championed Sprint with their Evos for a very long time, so I see more pre-orders happening there. And again, it'll be $199 for the 32 gig built-in. Remember, this is built-in storage only, you cannot expand it. But this is what I've been telling people. A lot of techs, and you know, you guys, I've heard different things. HTC just isn't going to do good this year, guys. I mean, I'm just being very honest with you guys. It's not going to do good this year, simply because although techs like the HTC One, it's not practical for a lot of consumers. And you can argue with me all you want. Wait till sales come up, and then argue with me. Because I guarantee you, when you start to see that people aren't buying it, you can blame marketing, you can blame a lot of things, but at the end of the day, it's a lot of things like, you know, 4 ultra megapixel versus 13 megapixel camera. Customers are only going to see 4 and 13. You can explain all day about ultra megapixel. I, as a photographer, know more about the ultra megapixel than most probably do. But I'll still tell you that yeah. So you have that. And it's just, yeah, I'll go into that another time. But yeah, it's not going to be as successful as a lot of people think it's going to be in the tech industry. Speaking of which, the other price point was just released. So Samsung Galaxy S4 starting their pre-orders on the 16th at AT&T, and it will be 16 gigabytes for $199 and the 32 gigabytes for $249. So, of course, Samsung advantage has that you do have micro SD card slot expandable, so you can add up to 64 gigs. Although you do get double the storage for HTC. I would rather have, you know, a 32 gigabyte $250 phone than a 64 gigabyte $299 phone, which I can only get from AT&T anyway. So, yeah, I will get the 32 gigabyte S4 myself. And I definitely, I think that'll be better. But we'll see. I'm going to buy the HTC One as well, of course, for the channel. And we'll see which one kind of goes, which one's the best of best. Maybe I'll become a believer. Alright, so that was the news for the week. Hope you enjoyed it. And if you have any questions about the articles, feel free to ask. This has been RICKY, the Android Guy.